When you're trying to decide where to set up your private practice, you're going to have a lot of options. You'll have to decide whether you want to be on your own, or if you want to be with other clinicians, or if you just want to be in another building with other people. But you are going to have some options. You can contact some of the local therapists to find out where they're located and find out if there's open space where you might be able to rent maybe a day or two at a time just to get started. You might also check with the physicians in the area to see if they might have any openings in their office space, because oftentimes they would be willing to rent to you for very little, or they would be willing to have you there a day a week just as a convenience to their patients. So your options are unlimited. Good luck. When you're trying to decide what type of payment to take for private practice, you have a couple of options. You can do 100% private pay, private practice, where people pay you at the time of service. That's certainly the easiest. However, if you do want to cooperate with insurance companies and help your clients out by billing the insurance companies, that doesn't have to be so difficult either. You may decide to use a billing program on your own, or you could hire a biller to do some of your billing for you. So you can certainly do a mix of both. There's nothing wrong with the mix. You'll have to decide what's right for you. As you know, protecting your client's privacy is one of the foremost responsibilities of a counselor. And the HIPAA laws that were established many years ago are in place so that we can follow certain protocols in order to stay compliant and protect our clients' private health information. There are several forms that are important for your client, forms that give them information about what the privacy laws are, as well as forms that tell them what their rights are. There are release forms that they will sign so that you can share their information with other practitioners so that you can collaborate for care. Now, you could spend a whole lot of time doing these on your own, but the best bet I found is to find a place that can put that package together for you, so that you essentially have all the paperwork you need when your client comes in the office to just hand them with confidence, knowing that you're in compliance and that they're getting all the information that they need. Also, if you're going to share your information, for example, with a secretary or a billing person, or if you use an answering service and the client calls in, the answering service person is going to talk to the client and have their name and maybe know some personal things about them. You have to make sure that there's an agreement between you and the people who are working with you or for you to make sure that they're doing their best to protect your client's privacy. I think the first thing you do when you're trying to figure out how you want to set up your private practice, or whether you want to go into private practice, is to really take the time to sit down and figure out what it is you really want with your business and with your career. You have to make sure that this is right for you, and you have to make sure that you're on the right track. So I would take some time to think about what it is you really want, what your goals are for your work, what your goals are for your practice, and once you have that established, it's going to be a lot easier for you to move along in the process. One of the questions I get most often is what happens and what do I do if a client no-shows or late cancels on me? I have a policy that there's 24 hours notice necessary. The way I handle it is that if a client doesn't show up for their appointment or they cancel late and there aren't really, really significant extenuating circumstances, they get billed for that session, and they get billed for the amount that I would normally have been paid for that session. So whether it's a private pay fee or whether it's the amount that the insurance company pays, that's what they get billed. I also have a policy that they pay me for that missed session before they get another session. So I'll call the client and I'll say, gee, I'm sorry you missed your session. This is the fee. Send me a check. And we call you at the last minute and says, I have some relatives in town and we're going to the beach. What I tell clients is, that's fine if that's what you choose to do, but realize that you are responsible financially for this appointment, and so if you want to go to the beach, you can go to the beach, but you need to send me a check for the session. Sound harsh? It's your bottom line. When clients don't show up, you've already put that time aside for them, and if you don't respect your time, they're not going to respect your time. So So it's important that you let clients know right up front, whether it's in your first conversation with them or in the contract that they sign with you at first, what your cancellation and no-show policies are.